This Pool B game today features on the visiting bench the number 3 ranked team in the West Region, the Utah State University Aggies. And on the home bench is the number 1 ranked team from the Southeast Region, the Florida Gulf Coast University Eagles. First, let's meet our starting lineup for the visiting team bench, the Utah State University Aggies. Starting at left defense, number 8, Brett Fernandez. At right defense, number 20, Jonathan Ball. At right wing, number 17, Gavin Lubin. At left wing, number 3, Drew Decker. And the Aggies starting goaltender, number 30, Coulter Pritchard. And now the starting lineup for the home team bench, the Florida Gulf Coast University Eagles. Starting at left defense, number 18, Sean O'Meara. At right defense, number 20, Michael Atkins. At left wing, number 9, David Walsh. At right wing, number 12, Dylan Cantwell. At center, number 21, Brandon Beard. The Eagles starting goaltender, number 29, Bradley Elijah. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise and kindly remove all caps for the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
And we welcome you inside the Children's Health Star Center in Frisco, Texas, for this game between this Pool B game between the Florida Gulf Coast University Eagles and the Utah State Universities. And a very pleasant good afternoon wherever you may be. Thank you for joining us here for this late afternoon game. Boz Echevarria alongside the former University of Utah Ute, Ryan Jones. And Ryan, it's good to be here with you.
Yeah, it's good to be here with you too, Boz. Looking forward to this game against the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles, reigning national champions, the Utah State Aggies. A tough task in front of them, but as we know, Utah State not one to back down from a challenge. They are the Aggies, a big physical team. They like to throw the body around. They're confident. They play well together as a team. A lot of these guys have been playing together for a long time, but they face a tough test against this Florida Gulf Coast team. Really well put together. I remember back in my playing days, they were the ones that bounced us out of the tournament, and they've really set up a dynasty down there in Florida. And I'm really excited to see how this one plays out.
And the face-off win goes to the Aggies. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. As now advancing the puck is Dylan Cantwell Gainwell shoots this one into the net, and that's how this game gets started after the first 10 seconds. Things, if you're Florida Gulf Coast University, you're obviously the defending national champions. You're in the driver's seat. You do have a win, but if you win this game, on the other side, waiting for you is New Hampshire. Things that you're looking forward to in this game.
Well, if you joined us with that last broadcast, you saw the two all-no twins, the first and second lines of New Hampshire. They have so much firepower coming after them. They're really, really hard to stop. We have a quick shot here. Good chance there by Florida Gulf Coast.
Richard with a blocker save, yeah.
You just can't be looking forward to them too much because this could be a trap game. This Utah State team's really, really good.
And they definitely can bite you if you're not paying attention. Puck out in front, and now just try to get waffled away, and getting it out was Cutshaw. Not out of the zone as Utah State trying to break out. And we're going to have a hand pass that will exit the zone. And a face-off will come just outside the Aggie zone. But if you're the Utah State Aggies, suffice it to say, you probably are the underdog in this game. You took a rough loss yesterday. Things that you need to do to rebound here against the defending national champions.
I think you just got to come out here, lay the body, and just play like a team. I mean, you have your backs against the wall, but you also got nothing to lose to come out here and just play your best hockey and play fun. And I know a lot of these guys are going to be graduating, so they're going to be playing for the seniors, and the seniors going to be playing for themselves. This will be some of the last competitive hockey that they'll play.
Of course, this Utah State Aggie team, not new at all to the national championship, the Division II national championship. They make a yearly appearance. Just so far struggling to get in the win column here as the puck sent out and shot in by number 11 in Arklepane as Cutshaw will make a save with 19:03 left in this first period. Quick first minute. A lot of time for the Eagles in their own zone.
Yeah, I think for Utah State, you're really going to need to work on the breakout today because you can't turn it over in your own zone, and especially in the neutral zone. You got to get pucks deep. You got to go hard into the boards and dig those out and make plays in your offensive zone.
Puck came out too. Starting goaltender, Coulter Pritchard. And now back D to D as O'Meara has it. He shoots it into Laviolette. Laviolette was camped out in front. Now it's going to be defenseman Beard. Beard goes D to D, and this one goes all the way around the boards and wait for it at the far side hash mark. There's going to be Noise. Into the corner and finally out. Right back in as we're going to play around the end boards for a little bit. There was Flanagan for the Eagles. Flanagan's pass that looked like it was trying to get to the point, wasn't there, and finally the Aggies will be able to break this one out. Ahead goes Milton. Milton backhands this one. It'll go into the far side corner as the rest of his line gets a change. And behind the zone net goes Haskins. Up near side here for Laviolette, and Laviolette's pass is errant. And this will go for icing. The Eagles have iced the puck.
Yeah, a lot of starts and stops here. Kind of tough to get your feet under you without a little bit of flow towards the game. So we'll hopefully see both teams kind of put it together and let these guys get their feet under them and start rolling.
Face-off will come to the glove side of Ramajan. The goaltender, of course, winning the national championship last year. Now back for Hernandez as he just sends this one deep. And the Eagles will maintain possession. Didn't get it all the way out of the zone. Glove save by Ramajan, and that'll get an applause from the Eagles crowd that surround us.
Yeah, we're sitting in the Eagles section here in the stadium here. They, for not too far of a flight or drive from Florida, but they are here in force in this cold arena. Probably not quite what they're used to.
And a ripper and a glove save. What would have been a strike for you baseball fans.
Yeah, Fernandez, one of the best players for Utah State. Expect him to make a pretty big impact. He had, looks like 22 points on the year, so he's second, tied for second.
Kerfleet wins it, and they score!
The exact same play, just how you draw it up. Just tease it up from the top of the circle. Utah State, 1-0.
That was Brett Fernandez, and it's a one-goal lead for the Aggies.
Right on cue. Same exact play, just a different result, and he just blows it by Ramajan.
Sometimes in order to get going, if you're the lower seed and the number one team, you're kind of looking for something to wake you up. Maybe this is one of the things. looking for a response out of Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot from some of these lower seeds at the Division I and Division II level, that these guys are able to score first, kind of catch the higher seeds on their heels. And the key here now is just staying on top of it, because now this Florida Gulf Coast team has a chance.
And a breakaway here. The Eagles are out, and losing the handle on it was Cantwell. Blew a perfect opportunity to even the game up.
Yeah, just couldn't keep it right on his stick. A little funny hop there, but Cantwell's going to probably have another couple of chances like that. But that's exactly what you're saying. Utah State gets an early one, but then defensive lap leads to a breakaway.
Far mishandled the puck, and that led to the opportunity. Now up for the Aggies, and they get this one deep. It actually bounced off the Florida Gulf Coast bench.
You see just with that chance by Cantwell, how quickly things can change with this kind of speed that Florida Gulf Coast is bringing to the game.
Face-off will be at center ice as it went into the Florida Gulf Coast bench. We'll try to abbreviate it, FGCU. Bit of a tongue twister there. I guess if you don't think about it, you get caught up. And I think we're getting a new puck as well.
Yeah, I know that Ratsy talked about it in the last game. A little bit of complaints about these pucks at this Division II tournament. They've been chipping away a little bit, and so wouldn't be surprised if we cycle through a couple of them, as teams have been kind of noticing that the pucks are hopping funny, having little bits of rubber laying around on the ice.
You don't really think about getting bad hops on a clean ice sheet. Although this ice has seen a lot of use. This is its second full day of hosting the ACHA Division II as Far sends us, and it went off the shin pad of Maxey. And FGCU will break this one in. Far gives and chase. He's watched by an Eagle. And on the inboards we go as Maxey has the puck. Maxey drops it now for the inboard, where the Aggies will pick it up and try to break this one out, and successfully doing so. Cutshall went to his teammate and line mate there in McKechnie, and he mishandled it, but it goes all the way down near side hash mark. There's good speed there from Fogarty to deal with this. Pass slightly deflected by a couple of Eagles, and we'll go near side hash marks. Battle ensuing. The Eagles trying to get this out of the zone, as that was Blauer who got his stick on it, but the Eagles do gain the zone, and an errant pass will leave this in the Aggies' possession. With speed through the neutral zone goes Fernandez. He has the lone goal and evades a check as he gets this one deep, being watched there by Mullally. Now at the near side boards. Finally up and across ice passes. Over there is Michael Haskins. We'll backhand this one up and not out, as the Aggies do get this one in deep, and the Eagles having some kind of trouble here in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, they've had two nice stretch passes, which have gotten them a couple of chances, but other than that, it's been primarily Aggies just giving them fits right now.
Now down the other way is Mullally. He sent this one in the slot. It was cut off there by a host of Aggies. And now up into the zone, is back in his own zone playing this, is going to be Howard. Howard goes D to D for Solera and guides it up ahead. It's going to go right back to Solera, but not after being deflected by an Aggie stick. Near side corner up to near side hash, and the Eagles are just having trouble getting this puck out of zone. O'Brien now with it for Kirkfleet. Kirkfleet with a shot and a glove save by Ramajan.
Yeah, and Gavin Lubin, the assistant captain of Utah State, crashing in there. Thought that maybe he could get a good rebound. Comes all the way back out to the Aggie zone.
And now back in his own zone, the Aggies go. Now up ahead for Lubin. All the way down, no icing as it was deflected. Out of his net is Ramajan. As he takes a little bit of that contact. O'Brien crashing hard. And O'Brien deflects this. And a high stick that the Eagles will touch up on, so we won't have a stoppage. The shot, and it was deflected just briefly by Fernandez. And at the near side boards, the Aggies do get it out of the zone, as McKitchney will try to get this one in. Of course, the Utah State Aggies, they do have a win over Division I program. Happened this year. Cross-ice pass and just out of the reach of McKitchney. Back the other way with speed. Wong Long mishandled it as Fernandez was back there. Long and Fernandez, but a host of Aggies on the near side boards as they regain possession. Haskins up and down and angled off the board, and right there was Cantwell in front, and a save by Pritchard with 13:34 left in period number 1.
Nice job by Pritchard. And like I said, it would kind of take maybe a couple minutes for this game to open up a little bit without too many stops, and that's exactly what it does. And that favors FGCU, as we saw early on with a lot of stops. Utah State able to win that offensive zone faceoff. If it's a more up and down game, if we're playing NASCAR, it's going to be all FGCU.
D pass sent in. Pritchard deflected it behind his own end boards, and that's where the Aggies will take over. Up going left to right, and back in their own zone, the Aggies will regroup. Now up ahead for Walton. Glove down here by Haskins. And move D to D. We're taking this one out as O'Meara. O'Meara skating through the neutral zone. O'Meara doesn't quite gain the zone yet. He does on side. That's as far as he gets as he'll wrap it around the boards. And now back to Haskins. Haskins will send this one deep, but it was intercepted by Farr. Farr gets it where Haskins played it. He was met by an Aggie, and the Eagles will deposit this one deep and finally out by the Aggies, as that's going to be O'Meara who recovers in his own zone. Up ahead for Wong. Wong generating some speed. He enters the zone. Still with speed, looking for an attempt. And into the corner he goes. He soccers it back to the point. This one set up in front. The Aggies knock it down, however. Finally up and long, and losing his edge was Kirkfleet, and the Aggies have iced the puck.
Yeah, it almost seems like Kirkfleet would have beat that one out, but it looks like he just caught a little bit of an edge there.
Looks like he had to laugh about that behind the going back to his own zone.
Probably hearing about it from the Eagles players. Tie your shoelace, bud.
Maybe he had some tape on the bottom of his blade.
Bad time to prank your teammate.
12:28 left in the first period. Back to play this is Solera. He'll go D to D. Deposited into the slot and a save by Pritchard. This one will go down. And is it on frame to avoid icing? And it is. Not. Well, it is icing, but it wasn't on frame.
It wasn't on frame.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
3-3 the shot total. $12:15 left in the first period. But the score that matters, the Aggies up by a goal. And back for it. We'll go near side boards for Keegan O'Brien. He was watched there by an Eagle. As FGCU will get this one deep. Waiting for it at the end boards was Trace Farr, and he was stepped into rather rudely. Up ahead, and the Aggies have an issue trying to break this out. They finally do. It's Kirkfleet who's on it. The Aggies will probably go for a change here on the long end of a ship, as a shot was just sticked away by Ramajan. Here for the near side boards that was a couple of numbers, and now the Eagles will break this one out. Where the puck is Mullally. Mullally tries to stick handle by a defender, and unsuccessfully so. Back to the point, the Eagles go for Haskins. Haskins will rattle this around the boards. As in the far side corner, picking that one up, I believe was Noyes. Flanagan, watched by a number of Aggies as they recover and take possession near side corner. Now where the puck is Dukai. The Eagles with a puck, far side shot, and it got behind Pritchard, but it went behind the end line and not around the goal crease. Up ahead and getting a piece of it was Decker. Now the Eagles with the puck. Up ahead, generating speed, Laviolette. Laviolette enters the Aggie zone, and a shot glove saved by Pritchard. He hangs on it with 10:48 in this first period.
Aggies being really aggressive on the forecheck here. You saw it just a couple minutes ago, but you want to be careful. You want to be aggressive, but you want to be careful to not overextend yourself. Like I said, that up and down race favors FGCU, and they're also going to need to work on that breakout because there's a lot of shots coming in on Pritchard. Once that FGCU starts cycling the puck around, you get tired legs, you get a lot of shots. You're going to see a lot of action in front of Pritchard. Big shot there.
One off a couple of players is now on the far side. Blower goes. Blower was cut off by Solera, and Solera got it out of the zone. And the Aggies offside as at the whistle.
Good breakout there by the Aggies, but like to see that one get deeper. You know, go maybe a little dump and chase action there for the Aggies. Instead, go offside, trying to do a little bit of a cute pass.
And
get their zone face-off.
Face-off won by the Aggies, and it hit a couple players as the puck was trying to get dumped in. Now left at the point, and not getting it in was Maxey. It'll go D to D on the far side, Solera. This one angled and gloved down by the Aggies. O'Brien had it. It was all the way back where Solera misplayed it, but he recovers and sends it off to Howard. Back to Solera. He can rip one, and a mishandle there where I believe that was Walton who picked it up. And Walton, a misfired pass where Howard picks this and gets it deep. Race to the inboards, blowing a tire there was Fogarty. And the Aggies will take this puck. Blauer leading the charge. Back to Blauer, and he enters the zone onside shot, and it was wide of the net. Ramajan just looked at the far post. Beard generating some speed. Beard in the zone, looking to go coast to coast, fires a shot that was deflected up and over the netting at 9:35, where we'll take our first media timeout, or we should. And after the first 10 minutes and some change, the Aggies find themselves up by 1 goal at our first timeout.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Aries Sportswear, official merchandise partner of the ACHA. Howie's Hockey Tape, the official tape provider of the ACHA. And the City of Frisco.
Don't forget all the recap of today's Men's Division II action and Men's Division I action on ACHA tonight. You can find that right here on the ACHA YouTube network, airing live at 11:30 every night. Of course, a big matchup here, and right now Utah State with the lead. On the call with you, Boz Echevarria, alongside with me, the former Ute and Ryan Jones.
Yeah, just want to add on there, if you're loving the sweet sounds of Boz Echevarria, check out last night's episode, still streaming on YouTube, for a daily recap of what happened yesterday as well.
Trying to plug people to watch me or listen to me.
I'm trying to get your views up, man. Trying to get the views up.
Back the other way, as we'll focus on the hockey game at hand, as the defending national champions find themselves down by 1 goal right now. Right now, Beard going to try to change that, as he led the charge here, but it was sticked away out of the slot by Jonathan Ball. Finally up after Ball after the stick lift. He had to fight off an Eagle. Oh, and a heavy collision by Lubin. Utah State showing they're here to play. Now Lubin. Lubin fires this. It gets deflected, and then he gives a forearm shaver to Sean O'Mara.
Yeah, he hit O'Mara there first, and O'Mara's looking to get him back. Love that kind of style of hockey.
Cutshall, he'll give chase. As trying to get there was McKitchney. Now the Eagles, they may have a rush here if they hurry. But it looks like the Utah State back check. It's laying out in front of the Keese, and the net comes off its moorings. Nevertheless, Utah State somehow negated what could have been a goal for the Eagles.
What a play by Cantwell. He had some Utah State back checkers racing back, but he goes hard outside, gets that puck to the slot. And when you get the puck in that house, you just never know what's going to happen. Guys crashing the net, bodies flying around. Good scoring opportunity for Florida Gulf Coast.
Backhand attempt play in the corner. The Eagles will have possession of it. And a shot that goes well wide will rattle all the way around, where Roy will pick it up. Hopped over the stick on the end boards of Arkelpane. And now finally into the slot where no one was home for the Eagles. Nice pass for Cutshall. Cutshall was looking for a give and go from Decker. Now with speed, Mullally. Mullally pulls up over by that 7-11 sign, back to the point. He circles around. Tried to get it deep for a teammate down there. And Mullally lost possession of it. Cutshall tried to get this one deep and was cut off there by Mullally. Cutshall and Mullally having a argument of hockey terms, as Cutshall will play it in front of his bench. Just knifes it up and out of the zone, and we'll have a high touch here that'll stop play with 7:30 in the first period.
Yeah, nice play. Just trying to flip it up in the zone there so that way the Aggies can get a change. Both teams will get a change. But once again, look who's on the ice. Number 8, Fernandez, the goal scorer. We'll see if they try to set up that goal-scoring play again, or maybe they'll give it to who's the number 77?
Lallier. Yeah. Back the other way as coming up and trying to get to it was Laviolette. It'll go all the way, and back to plate will be Fernandez. Fernandez rubbed in by Laviolette. Gets an arousing applause from the crowd, at least the FGCU partisan of it. Up and finally up where Lallier mishandled it, but does get in deep, avoids the icing, and there to play it is Walton. Strong forecheck from the Aggies here in the first period as Lallier behind the FGCU net, and playing it in the corner was Blauer. Blauer's met by a handful of Eagles, and behind it is Haskins. He'll play it for the Eagles behind his own net. Reverses his track. And up ahead, and maybe an interference call, but there's no effect on the play. So the refs say play on. Doyle watching an Eagle. And sent out in front, and a point-blank shot by Laviolette that could have been labeled for the twine, but Pritchard said no. Out of the slot there, not getting to it was Noyes. The Eagles still with it, a lot of possession, and Pritchard's seen enough and covers up with 6:20 in period one.
Yeah, after that opening goal by Fernandez, back and forth play, but I am liking how Florida Gulf Coast is setting up their rotations in that offensive zone. You can kind of almost just feel it on the end of your fingertips. Some of these shots are going to end up going through if they keep at it.
They feel really close to breaking through and getting to the back of the net.
But also a nice job by Pritchard, not giving up any rebounds or anything.
And the best defender normally has to be your goaltender. I think right now Pritchard has. Now comes O'Brien, a 2-on-2 ensuing. O'Brien couldn't get around, and he'll go behind the Eagle net. That's picking the puck there rather calmly was Cantwell. Getting this one deep. And the Aggies having trouble setting up their cycle as Kirkfleet was rubbed into. Now here near side for Maxey. And right back to Maxey right in front of the red line. Finally down to the end board, says picking this one up is Farr. Farr was stepped into. Now down low is Flanagan. Flanagan tried to look for someone in the slot and went all the way back to the post, but the Eagles keep it in. Well, finally in the corner. Lorenz, excuse me, that was Decker who got it out. As here right in front of us, Colton Howard will play this D-to-D for Solera. And offside go the Eagles as Maxey was looking to even this game up. 5:23 left in period number one. Shots in favor of the defending national champions in 8-4. And still a one-goal lead for the Aggies as this face-off will come right in front of their bench. Face-off one back to the Eagles is corralling it and getting this one deep was Cantwell. Playing this behind his own net. Fernandez, the lone goal scorer in this game. Finally up and out of the zone. Decker with speed, and he was canceled out. A shot goes up and over everyone, but the face-off will stay in the Eagles zone as it was deflected by an Eagles defender.
Yeah, I was able to avoid the huge hit there. Playing it nicely into the corner to get that offensive zone face-off and really protect himself from getting absolutely demolished.
Well, not only does Florida Gulf Coast play a physical brand of hockey, they got a lot of length on them as well. And this one's shot by saved by Rambajan off of his blocker. Walton will just send this right back where Haskins will take it for FGCU. Into the corner and finally just slightly out by Beard. Going all the way down was Wong. Wong has speed, and he lost a handle on the puck. He's just going to box out an Aggie defender. And behind net goes a couple of Eagles. Wong was down there. He's a number of the players, but Cantwell now has the puck. Cantwell sends it back down from the far side. Hash marks finally back up to the point. Where mishandling it was Haskins. And now with speed was Blauer, but canceled out and angled off by Haskins, where O'Mara will take the puck behind his own net. He circles back. I mean, the net and Rambajan has some kind of protection before the breakout, as Haskins will take it out of the zone. This one fired deep and just ringing this one all the way around the board. We're picking it up as Lubin. Lubin cross ice for Kirkfleet. Kirkfleet enters the zone. He's looking for some support. Just sends us all the way across, but Rambajan had to make a save as it was right across the goal mouth. Now Lubin. Excuse me, that wasn't. Yeah, it was Lubin. I apologize. O'Brien in the corner. O'Brien with a shot and a glove save. We talked about Ramajan's glove just being right out there, and that's exactly where that shot was put into.
Yeah, Ramajan with a nice save there. I don't think that he really didn't give up much of that post. It's a great shot by O'Brien, but I think Ramajan was going to have that puck either way.
So we'll get going with 3:50 left in the first period. Kirkfleet wins a faceoff. A shot, and it was labeled for the topside corner, blockered away by Ramajan. And Lubin may have touched this slightly offside, but the linesman will let that one go. The nice thing about our vantage point, we're literally right on top of the blue line. Back the other way goes Mullally. Mullally missed the net. Now Mullally. Mullally, who started the opportunity, feeds this one in front of the goal crease. No one there for Florida Gulf Coast. Now down low. Mullally again. Mullally from the face-off circle goes back for Solera. Solera was looking for a teammate in front of the net, but found a host of Aggies as this one is going to go for O'Brien. O'Brien trying to win the race, and no icing here as he does. And that forecheck there, he still has the puck. A marvelous one has come and crashed, and he missed him was McKitchney.
Great shift here by O'Brien. What a workhorse, beating that out, now keeping the puck going back in. Well-deserved change for him.
Now Solera reverses. He goes D to D, losing it in his skate there. It was Roy. Roy goes back to Solera, and Solera trying to get this one out. And the Eagles finally do get this out of the zone. Now up ahead goes Roy. Roy dropped it and was looking for a player out in the slot. The Aggies will get this one out of their own zone. And now giving chase is Arkelpane. And looks like up there playing it was Flanagan. He just got that one deep. The Aggies with 2:19 left. They're looking for another goal. That would be marvelous for them. Decker gets into the Florida Gulf Coast zone as Cutshaw will go cross ice with his pass. Thinking about a shot, but then seeing the defender was Blowers. He steps on the brakes. Trying to get this one deep and angled off a couple of skates of the Eagles. Is the Eagles trying to get an equalizing goal with 120 seconds left. Shot here and getting mauled was the goaltender in Pritchard. He makes a save regardless.
Wow.
As Utah State's bench is asking for goaltender interference.
Yeah, making some noise going in there with a nice shot. Then Pritchard getting bowled over. I think that the Aggies do have a point. You might have been interfered with. But how about the poise of Pritchard to get back up, stop the shot, and get a stoppage in play?
1:51 left in period number one. And we'll reset and do this as Lallier is going to get thrown out of the circle. Okay, yeah, he is going to get kicked out. Slight false start. Reset and do it again as
Say got tipped.
No icing here. Is back to play. This is Haskins. As Haskins goes into his own near side corner, he was met there, and now finally up ahead. And as Lubin tried to get this one in, it was awkwardly back, but going back to play this is Farr. Up ahead and playing this D to D goes Haskins. Haskins now near side, and offside was Wong as we enter the last 74 seconds of period number one. So far, a quick first period. FGCU maintaining a lot of pressure. They just haven't seen any results show up under their goal count for scoreboards. Taking the face-off is Mullally. And now back and sent down. Actually up and over. It's a low ceiling here, so if you do sky the puck, there's a very good chance that you'll hit that stanchions in a bit that come across the supports. Of course, the lights and also the speakers in the arena. 68 seconds left in period number one. Mullally will take the face-off for the Eagles. Into the corner we go, sending this one out in front as Arkelpane was there. Now Solera mishandled the puck. He'll go D to D, but reading that play was Cutshaw. He deflected a little bit as we entered the last 60 seconds. With the puck, Leon. And Leon with a shot that sailed wide. Solera stepped into, but he got it into the corner and meeting a Eagle there is Jonathan Ball. That's still out in front. A shot, and they score! The Eagles have tied it up. Right to the goal to Trevor Mullally. He got a wide open top of the net. Sent it home, and within 39 seconds of the end of the period, the Eagles have tied this game up. And Lubin asking, I don't know what his argument is with the officials. It looked like a pretty clean goal to me. And after a period of where FGCU is grinding for a goal, they finally get one. But it is an equalizing goal, so we'll, unless anything happens in the last 30 seconds, we'll end this period the way we started it. But right now, another breakaway opportunity saved by Pritchard. Now behind the Utah State net. Where in the last 20 we go. Playing this goes the Eagles. A shot here and a save by Pritchard. Still loose in the slot. We're going to have a penalty here. And it's going to be a rough. And I believe this is against Utah State. It's going to be Trace Farr who's the guilty party. He's going to go away 2 minutes for roughing. That's, of course, barring a Florida Gulf Coast goal. And right now it looks like Walton is going to get an explanation from one of the officials. So the first power play of the game, first special teams. And a shot that they score! Sean O'Mara takes the lead with 11.4 seconds left in period number 1. And wow, did momentum change in a hurry. Nothing that Pritchard could have done. It was a shot for the point that he didn't see. And it squeezed in that top left corner. And Lightning quick to strike against the Aggies. 8 seconds, 7 as this one lofted up. And finally gloving this one down is Cantwell. He'll send it in deep for the Eagles. As that will do it for the first period. So in the last minute, we see the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles erase that 1-goal deficit and then take the lead. And it's going to be up to the Utah State Aggies to settle this one down after the quick momentum change. And it was kind of a brutal last half minute for the Utah State Aggies. And we're going to send it down to our own Ryan Jones, who's with Utah State goal scorer Brett Fernandez.
Brett, you're coming in facing the defending national champions. What was the mental preparation like before this game?
We came in, we're just coming like we're going to win this, and we're going to try to play our hardest, keep going hard, move the puck, and shoot the puck. Hopefully it goes in. That's all we can ask for right now.
And your second shot from the point went in, right? You kind of went right back to that same play. You started off the scoring. Unfortunately, gave up 2 goals late. What's going to be the adjustment for the second period here?
We're going to play a lot more defense, and we're going to try to work a lot harder than we have been, because we got a little lazy at the end there. We just got to keep working hard.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, Brett. Good luck.
You want the towel?
Yeah. No.
And we'll see what adjustments the Utah State Aggies will make. They had the lead for most of the first period. Saw 2 very late goals from the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles, showing why they are the defending national champions. We'll take a short break. We'll see you right back for period 2 to see how this story unfolds. After 20 minutes of hockey, it's the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles 2, the Utah State Aggies 1.
My experience at Stony Brook was everything. It completely changed my life.
Since coming here, I've had my conception of humanity expanded.
The most important lesson I've learned at Stony Brook is that you have to work for it and you have to take it.
The students are bringing fresh minds to the question.
We go far beyond the campus confines to bring our expertise to global problems.
Stony Brook's just giving me that chance to prove my potential.
You ready? This guy's not ready. You're not ready. Hockey heads are special, which is why we protect them with a helmet designed, built, and tested to endure real-world hockey impacts.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like even more than birthday cake.
Come on! You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate. Skate. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
My experience at Stony Brook was everything. It completely changed my life.
Since coming here, I've had my conception of humanity expanded.
The most important lesson I've learned at Stony Brook is that you have to work for it and you have to take it.
The students are bringing fresh minds to the question.
We go far beyond campus confines to bring our expertise to global problems.
Stony Brook's just giving me that chance to prove my potential.
You ready? This guy's not ready. You're not ready. Let's go!
Hockey heads are special, which is why we protect them with a helmet designed, built, and tested to endure real-world hockey impacts.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like even more than birthday cake.
Come on. You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy. Come on. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
My experience at Stony Brook.
Lesson I've learned.
Prove my potential.
This guy's not ready. You're not ready.
With a helmet designed, built, and tested to endure real-world hockey impacts.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is...
Come on, Tim. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the...
My experience at Stony Brook was everything. It completely changed my life.
Since coming here, I've had my conception of humanity expanded.
The most important lesson I've learned at Stony Brook is that you have to work for it and you have to take it.
The students are bringing fresh minds to the question.
We go far beyond
my potential.
You ready? This guy's not ready. You're not ready. Let's go!
Hockey heads are special, which is why we protect them. With a helmet designed, built, and tested to endure real-world hockey impacts.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like it even more than birthday cake.
Come on. You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy. Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate. Skate. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
My experience at Stony Brook was everything. It completely changed my life.
Since coming here, I've had my conception of
are bringing fresh minds to the question.
We go far beyond campus confines to bring our expertise to global problems.
Stony Brook's just giving me that chance to prove my potential.
You ready? This guy's not ready. You're not ready.
Helmet designed, built, and tested to endure real-world hockey impacts.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like it even more than birthday cake.
Come on. You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate!
Maybe see the Aggies rebound. We'll see what kind of adjustments both teams made in that intermission.
Angled off the boards and back for FGCU. Haskins takes it. It was cut off there by Kirkfleet, and the Aggies will have the puck as O'Brien has to circle back. In a neutral zone, the Aggies will regroup as the center of the puck there was O'Brien. Chipped up ahead. We're picking up the puck is going to be O'Mara. D to D here, near side. Finally a cross-ice pass, finding their captain in Wong.
Pass.
A shot here, and Pritchard had to fight that one up and over, and this one's gloved down. They score!
Wow. Look at that. They pick up right where they left off. 33 seconds into the second period, and Florida Gulf Coast extends the lead to 2.
Oh, and right now, C.J. Westlake is asking about a high stick. This is something that they're going to have to talk to the refs about. And I think Westlake has come off the bench, and he's trying to get the refs' attention about that. I know I did see it gloved down. I think Lubin's talking to the one of the linesmen about it.
I think that personally, I think it's the right call. Yes, it did get gloved down in front, but it wasn't gloved in, right?
Yeah.
He didn't bat the puck in. It bats right down to his stick, then he puts it in. To me, that's a good goal. Maybe if this was a D1, they review it, but I even think if that goes to review, that's a good goal all the way. And that's good hustle by Florida Gulf Coast, and they are just gas pedal right now.
Well, in the past 90 seconds, Florida Gulf Coast has scored 3 goals. And right now the score stands 3-1 as we haven't even got to the first minute of this middle frame. Sent up and offside as we'll reset and do this over. I think it hit the netting, so we're going to do this at center ice.
Yeah, what a quick turnaround for Florida Gulf Coast. This is something we knew we would see. Utah State, it's got to be demoralizing, but you got to pick yourself up by the bootstraps and keep on fighting for your playoff lives.
Of course, with a loss, Utah State would be eliminated from this playoff. They would play their 3rd game tomorrow. Florida Gulf Coast, if they win, they're looking for a winner-take-all matchup against New Hampshire, who ended up beating Marion in the previous game. Now with speed behind the goal line, up and down low, looking for the slot, was Arcopane. This one sent all the way back. Is picking this one up and up ahead for Cutshaw. He gets it out of the zone where Decker has it. Picked up by Haskins, cross ice, and playing it off the boards is going to be O'Mara. He gets this one deep. Skating hard and getting to it was Noyes. Now up ahead, far side corner, angled off the boards. And at the face-off circle, a shot doesn't get to Pritchard. And now gloved down and cut off there was Flanagan. And we are going to have a hand pass, and that'll bring the face-off outside, right in front of us, outside of the Aggie zone.
Yeah, you just see the Eagles right now just getting pucks on Pritchard and just crashing the net. I mean, that is the key to success right there. Just create a lot of chaos, and, you know, a lot of those will end up bouncing in.
Decker slamming his stick against the penalty box as he had exit the ice.
I mean, I'm not surprised. Visible frustration from that Aggies bench. It is pretty demoralizing to give up this many goals that quickly.
Well, Fernandez chipped it up ahead. There are no Aggies in the area. As back to pick this up was Haskins. Haskins up ahead. Florida Gulf Coast can maintain a lot of the offensive zone time in this second period. Now skating by and shooting it wide was Laviolette. What a golden opportunity for the Eagles to extend the lead to 3. Cross-ice pass hopped over the stick of O'Mara. He sends it deep, waiting for it. It's Flanagan. Flanagan behind the Aggie net. He waits patiently and gets it out to the point here. The Eagles do. Now right back down where Flanagan will play it. Flanagan rubbed off, but left it behind him for Laviolette. Laviolette at the corner. Shot from Haskins. It was socketed away by Laviolette. Fired, and Pritchard makes a stop near side post.
Yeah, and going back to the first period when Fernandez had that first goal, and kind of in our pregame talk, we kind of talked about it's been a common thing for the underdog team to come out, play a little bit more loose, get that first goal. But once Florida gets rolling, I mean, you better get off the tracks when the train's rolling through.
You and I have both seen that at the D1 level.
Yeah.
In the last 2 days, it's been those higher seed teams and the puck. They need a new puck. I'm actually wondering if maybe we just got a bad batch of pucks.
It might be, but we certainly have a storyline nonetheless. If you were with us in the past game or in the first period, we've been switching out a lot of pucks. Don't know how long this one's been in play, but they've been chipping, they've been breaking. A lot of teams complaining about them. Haven't seen that really an issue at the D1 tournament so far, but maybe the Division II pucks were, like you said, bad batch.
Just throw them in the humidifier or something. As Rambajan finally gets this one out, and the Eagles have another breakout opportunity. This one up ahead, and mishandle it up ahead, just over the net, into the netting. And this faceoff will stay in the Aggie zone as Florida Gulf Coast just swarming right now.
Yeah, it was great passing there to Yoakum and back. Just kind of hopped over his stick, and then but the ability to corral that and just send it right back. Like I said, just get pucks in front, good things will happen. And Utah State primarily playing in their own zone for the first 3 minutes here.
They haven't surpassed that 3-minute mark. 17:09 left in the middle period. And now Decker had to circle back to make sure that puck didn't enter that slot area.
Good poke check to get it out to the neutral zone.
Right back out into neutral zone as the Eagles just, right now, they have all the possession time. Sent in deep by Roy all the way around, and the faceoff will come outside.
It's like one of the Florida Gulf Coast players. A little bit too quick to enter the zone there.
Everyone wants a score. You're a little too antsy. You got to wait for the puck, though.
I'm not calling it point night just yet, but when you're scoring this much, it can feel like that.
Back the other way goes McKitchney, and McKitchney doing battle there with Haskins, pulling this one out. Was O'Mara, he'll rattle this one around, still kept in just barely, and everyone over skating that. Decker had a free shot at it, and he sent it cross ice, but waiting for that puck was Fogarty. Up ahead as, I believe that was Doyle sends this down. Back to play this is Fogarty. Into the corner. Now the Aggies have it sent up as Rambajan has to fight that one off a little bit high. Kind of that in-between area if you're a goalie, in between the shoulder and the neck area. You end up seeing goalies sometimes wearing that plastic protector, the neck guard. I don't see any goalie wearing that right now, though. Now Walton with speed gains his own, shoots it into the skates of the defender in O'Mara. D to D as Haskins will pick that one up. Peer to the long change. Always adventurous, and now the Eagles out in front. They score the backhand move. David Wong increases the lead to 3.
And who else would it be than the captain, David Wong, always right. He's got 33 goals, 29 assists in the regular season, the leading point getter for Florida Gulf Coast, and really starting to blow the doors open right here. You see a lot of that stretch passing coming into play right now by Florida Gulf Coast, just utilizing their speed, and Pritchard just kind of left all alone on that one, and a great finish by Wong.
How about the patience by Wong to outweight Pritchard?
Yeah.
It was a beauty of a breakaway goal. Now up ahead, Baird. Baird chipped it up ahead. Wong was in the slot, but it didn't get to his stick. Now back the other way goes Blauer. Wong's right there. Wong with speed just knocked this off with the blade of Blauer. Fernandez will get this one up as the Aggies will have to touch up. They couldn't do it in time, and of course, Arcupine with his speed up. He didn't saved by Pritchard as Arcupine tried to go up high.
What a move there by Cantwell to create some space for himself. Gets a nice shot on Pritchard. Pritchard in position there. But you just see that speed right now. I think just all these goals just energizing, just fueling this Florida Gulf Coast fire. And Utah State really playing on their heels now.
I guess if you're CJ Westlake, do you consider taking a timeout at any point in time to kind of settle your team down? And a wide open slot shot back in, and it went over everything into the netting. As missing the wide open net was Trevor Mullally.
Yeah, nice play by Mullally. And going back to answer your question there, Boz, I wouldn't hate a timeout here. I know that typically you want to save them for a late game, But there is going to be no late game situation if they continue to let this game get out of hand. Maybe just calm the guys down for a second. Maybe you wait until after you get your media timeout.
And a shot went over everyone again, and right now it's just a shooting gallery for the Eagles.
Yeah, an absolute barrage. So I don't know what adjustments you want to make for if you're CJ Westlake, but shots are 22-7, and this is only getting worse.
It's going to be Flanagan for the Eagles versus Kirkfleet, the captain for the Aggies. Now what, back. And getting to it is Laviolette. Laviolette from the far side hash marks. He's watched by 2 Aggies, and he's kind of stuck in. This one goes up and into the ceiling as some, what is that, insulation coming off?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what it is. Low barn here, so we've seen that in a couple of games. Guys just trying to pitchfork the puck out of the zone to get a breather. And with this low ceiling, it's just kind of bouncing right back down.
Looks like
in the Aggies' defense, they will get a tipped puck, so at least it's going to get out into the neutral zone.
And we're going to resume play here. D as Florida Gulf Coast will send this one in deep as Richard will cover this one up. And it'll be another face-off in the Aggie zone.
Yeah, just kind of a soft dump into the zone. Pritchard quick to cover it. They probably wouldn't be able to play it without how Florida Gulf Coast has been bearing down on them. But unfortunately, you had that neutral zone draw that you lost, and now you got to take the draw in your own zone.
Face-off one goes to the Eagles and trying to glove it down. Mishandling it, now soccered up ahead, where Cutshaw just dumped this one in. Back to play it is Rambajan into the corner, and it's 1 Aggie, 2 Eagles, and the Eagles come out with a number battle. D out to the slot, and finally up ahead where Laviolette will play it at the red line. And Laviolette's offside. Nevertheless, play continues as Cutshaw trying to generate some speed. Through neutral zone, circles back at the top of the circle. As it's going to be Ball who plays it in deep. And a shot that missed the net. Took a weird bounce, a weird carom off that end board glass. Now Flanagan comes in, sends this on target as Pritchard has it. A shot, and it's a couple of saving that one was Pritchard. He had to make a couple multiple saves up there.
Yeah, let that first rebound go and then had to make 2 quick saves.
Now down low playing the puck is Fogarty. Fogarty into the corner as Laviolette would join that support. And finally out of the zone, and this one just back deep as Ball will play this. Near side face-off dot, and it goes for Blauer. Blauer still in the zone, and the Aggies just having trouble breaking this one out. Nasty degree wedge, and it ends up in the netting.
Yeah, thankfully the netting here to save us from
the way the hair
with the hair.
The hair's flowing out of Blauer, and sent up and fighting that one off. A nice pad save by Pritchard after the shot off the face-off. Haskins comes back and plays it. And finally not out of the zone as Lallier was there. He was harassed. And the puck goes all the way. Florida Gulf Coast, after the first 17 minutes of the first period, all but dominate since. Up ahead, near side hash mark as having trouble handling the puck was Fogarty. Now right back to Rambajan as he had to make a save as the Eagles will come up and now get this one deep. We'll try to get it deep, but ball is right there. He backhands one out and corralling this and angling this one off the boards right in front of the Florida Gulf Coast bench. Now soccering up to a stick is Maxey.
Nice
Maxey
pass.
to Fogarty. Fogarty shot in the skate of Ball, who was there to in between the puck and the net. Through the skates, and the Aggies were on a change. If they touched that, they may have gotten called for too many men. And now Ball up ahead was looking for Kirkfleet, couldn't find him. Up ahead is Ball, who tried to play the puck. Odd man rush, the other side, they score! And the route is on, it's 5-1.
It's Wong again, great setup there. Nice stretch passing. You look at Florida Gulf Coast and how well they defend and regroup in the neutral zone. It's something that you work on in practice almost every single day, your neutral zone regroups, and Florida Gulf Coast putting on a textbook display of how to play as a team, and this one's starting to get a little bit out of hand.
Well, 5-1 the score, and I mean, you look at the shot total too. Utah State still in single digits, almost at the halfway mark with 11:23 left in this game. This one sent up and out as put on the brakes is Solera. Knifed up ahead and into the Utah bench. Looks like it went off the lineman as well.
As the goals and assists are getting announced, you can, by way of the layout of the land in this arena, has us sitting in the Florida Gulf Coast section. And the well-traveled fans are certainly getting a show put on them by their hometown team.
Now back. Up ahead as Wong stick handles by. Pass up ahead and getting stonewalled by Lubin was Cantwell.
Lubin looking to make a difference using the body here to maybe find a good hit to ignite his team. You see number 17 just flying around the ice right now.
And everyone taking the body right now where the score it is. Now back the other way. Pritchard, and it's another score for Brandon Beard, 6-1.
Boz, I'm speechless. That move was so dirty, I might need to go home and take a shower. Bad turnover by Utah State, a nasty toe drag, bar down. Wonder here if Coach Westlake's maybe looking to get the backup goalie in at this point.
Sometimes, I mean, it's really not even on the goalie.
No, at this point it's not. Pritchard's played well. He hasn't had a lot of help in front of him, but at this point with another game left to be played, you might want to just do it for his own mental well-being.
And now gaining the zone is going to be Leon. Sometimes you see that in the NHL too, just to wake up your team a little bit. You don't even call a timeout, you just pull the goalie. And with this 5-goal lead entering the halfway point of this game, maybe a needed change is now entering the zone again. Is going to be Mullally. Mullally puts on the brakes, now back to the point. And a shot, it didn't get to the net as it was stopped in front by Decker. Down deep all around the boards and not getting to it was Fernandez. Well, Fernandez talked about it during the interview when you had him as he gets crunched on the end line end boards. Now in front, stick handling around was Mullally. Mullally circles back to the near side circle.
Fernandez kind of looks maybe a little bit hurt here.
And this is going to be iced as coming back and playing. This is Ramajan. All the way down as it's appeared to the long change. Now gaining his own, Laviolette. Laviolette skates by and drops it through his legs. A shot here, and it was blocked away by Pritchard. Laviolette on the end boards along with Flanagan. Flanagan walks into the corner, turns, and fires. Was blocked away.
He looks a little bit tired. I don't know if he's hurt.
And Blauer will send this one in, and they do get that change as, well, number 1, Fernandez went back to get his stick. Flanagan sent in. And we're going to have a stoppage here. It looks like the net's off its moorings with 8:33, and probably time for a break here as we will have our immediate timeout halfway through this game, and it's all Florida Gulf Coast. They're up by 5.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Barron Championship Rings, proud sponsor and championship ring provider for the ACHA. Warrior Sports, the preferred stick supplier of the ACHA. The Dallas Stars. For tickets and more information, visit dallasstars.com. And Southwest Airlines, the official event airline partner of the 2019 ACHA National Championships.
And back at the 2019 Men's Division II National Championship 4-year recap. Don't forget to check out ACHA tonight on the ACHA Network. And it'll recap all of your action from Men's Division II and Men's Division I. The tournament's going on. The finals for both of these divisions are going to be, they will occur Tuesday over at the Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas. A pretty marvelous facility, I might say, and I'm sure a facility that a lot of fans will enjoy as well.
Yeah, we think all the folks that have helped put this together, the Dallas Stars organization, the ACHA, for having us down here in Frisco and Plano, Texas. The facilities have been beautiful. I think everybody's having a good time, and especially Florida Gulf Coast. They're having a great time tonight.
Oh, this one went off the helmet of Lorenz, and he's having a laugh about that right now. It's a good thing you had that one on.
That'll wake you up a little.
Make sure there's no dent in his helmet either. Yeah. But, I mean, going along with what you were saying, Jonesy, one of the things, too, we did just have our media timeout. We do want to thank our sponsors because, number one, this tournament never happens without the support of our sponsors. I know we think that we're just trying to feed them money, but, like, they really do put this on, I mean, for all these student athletes, but also for everyone at home. This doesn't happen without sponsorship.
Yeah, to be able to bring all the games to YouTube for free is a huge thing, so we definitely thank all those people.
And Jonesy, especially you being a former player, like, I'm sure you felt the impact of.
There is such a high talent with the ACHA at every level that people forget. You know, even though they come from big schools, a lot of these guys are paying for their own way. You know, they're paying thousands of dollars for the bus rides, for the food, for the equipment. You know, so it's definitely a little bit of a grind to have to do their own stuff, and some extracurricular activity down here as a football tackle. It looks like we got Brian Urlacher checking in for Utah State here. Not sure. Not sure who's down on the ice. Looks like number 12.
Yeah, it's going to be Chris Cutshaw. And I think one of the things, too, is that with the score the way it is, the main thing we mentioned, being a student athlete, a lot of the students, are on spring break, but they do have to go back to finish out the semester. Some of them graduating, some of them grad students, and some of them undergrads, so they still have plenty of their college career and then also their future to look forward to. And I think sometimes watching these games, we kind of forget that student-athlete side of the ACHA.
Right. It's definitely a grind. I mean, you waking up this morning and you got to get your breakfast in, you got to get your studies in. You see these guys out there, you know, hanging out after games or in the mornings, oftentimes doing homework and knocking all that stuff out on the road before having to go back home and returning to real life. So the ACHA does a great thing by opening opportunities for a lot of athletes that would previously maybe not be able to get these kinds of experiences and playing pretty competitive hockey.
And Jonesy, you've been a part of the ACHA grind, and you've actually been to the Division II tournament. And I mean, I kind of just want to know, like, if you could explain your thoughts about the grind and how much, like, you know, having these sponsors and just being, you know, part of the fraternity of the ACHA.
Yeah,
and
well,
what that's meant for you.
Right. Well, so playing for the University of Utah, I've seen this Utah State teams many a times. They've always given us fits. This Florida Gulf Coast team knocked us out of the national tournament when we played in Salt Lake City. Here's a chance for Wong. And a save by Pritchard. Great save by Pritchard. Wong looking for the trio. And Pritchard with a great save, but
I think that might be a natty hattie if he did get that one too.
It would be. But yeah, go back just to finish my thought out. You know, I have to be very thankful for my friends and family. I know my parents listening to the broadcast, my grandma. You know, it's hard not even to get emotional on the broadcast because you have so much people that care for you and do everything to make this happen as a non-scholarship athlete, you know. So it wouldn't be without the help of a lot of cool people, and we thank the ACHA for letting us do this. We're having a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I mean, I think so much, too, that the NHL gets involved in just trying to grow the sport of hockey in this country. And I think, we saw it with North Carolina State at the beginning of the day where they mentioned their support of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Right.
As they deal a lot with that. They had a North Carolina State night they're in a shot that was just wide of the net by O'Brien. But when we talk about the NHL influence, 2 years previous, we were actually in Columbus, and the Columbus Blue Jackets hosted us and put on a marvelous tournament as well.
Right, and now us being hosted by the Dallas Stars organization, we thank them as well.
As Leale will gain the zone, and the slot fires, and Blockard up and out, and it looks like it hit the roof. After that, with 5:52 left in the second. By the way, there were matching minors that we did.
Chatting.
Yeah, we kind of been chatting. But there were matching minors. There were roughing minors. There are 2 players in the box with about 30 seconds left on their coincidentals.
And that was a nice play by Lallier, breaking it in there. That's kind of the spark that Utah State needs, right? He's coming in there with speed. He gets a good shot on goal, just making sure that FGCU is still in this game and still playing awake. That's kind of the spark that Utah State has always had. They're definitely not going to give up. They never have.
Lallier blows a tire. It goes here near side for Decay. As Haskins plays this at his own blue line, finally brings it up ahead and goes cross ice where Flanagan, or excuse me, not Flanagan, Bryant will play it. Bryant enters the zone. Down at the red line and was looking for a cross ice pass intended for Arculpane. Haskins into the far side corner, giving chase is Trace Farr, and he circles around to evade a couple of Eagles players and dangerously out in front over by that far side circle. The pass went, and as Flanagan got a piece of that, but it finally did clear out of the zone. Up and out as Laviolette took a forearm shot. Down deep as Farr plays it. Into the corner. Roy. Now up ahead for Machunas. Machunas has it. Machunas in the zone. Walks. Joe Flanagan right out of the textbook. And it's a 7-1 game for the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles.
How about the knowledge and the teamwork by Laviolette and Flanagan? Laviolette, they're going in on a 2-on-0. He can easily take that shot himself. Instead, he decides to give up the puck to his teammate there. Flanagan with an easy goal, making Pritchard move side to side. And the scoring continues. Now 7 unanswered goals by the #1 team, Florida Gulf Coast.
It's all but academic right now, but it looks like it's going to be New Hampshire and Florida Gulf Coast for the Pool C.
Yep.
Or Pool B, excuse me. Who's going to decide? Who's going to move on from Pool B?
And I don't know if you noticed there on the just right on the draw there, Boz. Second that the puck was dropped, bam, piece of rubber on the ice. Ref had to pick it right up. So we'll see if they recycle this puck.
It has to be a bad batch of rubber.
It's unheard of. I've played a lot of hockey throughout my career, and I've never seen anything like this.
Maybe something got contaminated while they were purifying the rubber and galvanizing it during the whole process. We won't get into it.
Yeah, science. You guys figure it out at home. Google it.
You're on YouTube, but we do thank you.
Yeah, go visit How It's Made, Hockey Pucks. But finish the broadcast first.
Yeah, finish this game. We're always, that's a high hit as on the receiving end is Cutshall. And that's what we're going to have. It's going to be the 8 right now. And kind of not, I mean, Brett Fernandez talked about it during basically for this whole period, it's been absent from Utah State.
Yeah, it's tough to stop this speed of Florida Gulf Coast. I mean, I don't know if I have the answer for it. Unfortunately, the Aggies don't either, but maybe they can get a little bit of momentum with this power play here.
Now taking the puck here, Kirkfleet. Kirkfleet at the top of the circle. And he walks it out, back to Kirkfleet, and he sent it up. And it was well wide of the net. Was looking for a deflection out in front. Got a man in there in Lubin, but Lubin lost it. And Ramajan stacked his pads.
Yeah, nice job by Ramajan. I think sometimes as a goalie, it's hard to stay focused in a one-sided contest like this. But clearly, he's still pretty locked in. A great save there.
It looks like we have a hurt Eagle coming off the bench. And it looks like it is be a huge loss for the Eagles if he can't return to the game at least tomorrow. I mean, if you're Florida Gulf Coast, something like that, the way he was skating off, I don't know if you want to put him back into a game that has a score like this.
Yeah, depending on the severity of the injury, I think at this point in the game you can feel good about shutting him down if you need to.
Ramajan made the save and then sticked it away with 3:28 in the second period. Still a minute 30 left on the penalty. As this one will go set down the other. I don't know. Right now, Florida Gulf Coast is putting on a clinic. Down the other end as play ensues. Mullally doing a one-man forecheck right now. And he's just boxing everyone out. Finally punches it out. Yeah, in the last minute we go. And there's going to be a penalty against the Aggies. And Ball.
Yeah, Ball with a little extracurricular here. Utah State needs to touch up. So,
as our colleague Jay Sewell would say, it probably just exchanging GPAs right now.
Yeah, exactly.
As we'll
just
have
some friendly conversations. We'll see what the call ends up being.
Oh, Kirkfleet. Well, it's going to be ball. But, I mean, right now, if you're Florida Gulf Coast, it's pretty easy to say you don't get antagonized by anything, having the lead that you are, and then the all-important game that's going to decide this pool against New Hampshire.
Yeah, especially going into tomorrow is the last thing you need is some guy losing his temper and getting suspended for a really important game tomorrow.
And now Walton across the red line and gaining the zone is going to be Lubin. Lubin in front. He shot it. It didn't look like it got to the net, however. Now up ahead. And with the puck in with speed is Yoakum. Yoakum left it for Beard, and a shot hit the end board right back to Beard. Yoakum in front, and he had a wide open net but couldn't handle the puck. Finally up and out as Walton's going to take Solera. And it's going to be up ahead here near side for Yoakum. He's going to make his way down. The Eagles gain the zone. From the red line as Haskin plays it. Far side point. Now here near side for Solera. Solera at the logo. Goes to Haskins. Back to Solera. Cross size for Cantwell. And a shot that hits the net. And play is halted with 75 seconds left in this middle frame. It also came off its moorings. So 46 seconds left on the penalty to Ball. Finally up and it hit the linesman's skates. Oh, back down low and hopping over the stick, but corralling it is Arcopane. Now, a shot here that went, it was a save by Pritchard, but it also floated across the goal crease. Now down low as Arcopane has it. And he goes down low for Leon. Up to the top, and Pritchard up to the stand. As it's still 7-1 with 47.3 seconds left. Shot total, we'll just leave it as a ratio of 3-1 in favor of Florida Gulf Coast. $18 seconds left in the abbreviated power play. I think what we have, we had a door that popped open. And face-off won by the Eagles. And down low for Flanagan. Flanagan walking in just above the red line. Will go back to the point. And we'll go D to D for Solera and blockered away by Pritchard. Flanagan from the corner again. Now up for O'Mara. O'Mara for Solera. And down low. And still down low with it is going to be Noyes. Noyes watches the power play expires, and there's a piece of rubber that came off the puck. Soccered up and away, and now Flanagan with the puck. To the last 13 we go. And activating from the point, Solera beats out Kirkfleet, but Kirkfleet with a good check there. It's Cutshaw with speed. Sakano's away, but it goes into the corner and evading a hit of O'Mara. And this one up as the period expires. And the middle frame sees Florida Gulf Coast put up 5 and extend their lead by 6. As that will do it for period number 2. It was all Florida Gulf Coast. So if you're Utah State, you do have 4 periods left on your season, unless you can mount some kind of major comeback. And it was a very, an all FGCU type period, and something that we expected. It's going to be, it'll be an interesting third period, but we'll send it down to our own Ryan Jones, who's standing by with Joe Flanagan.
All right, I'm here with Joe Flanagan. Joe, you guys went down early in this game. Since then, an absolute offensive explosion. Was there something that somebody said or coach said on the bench to get you guys to really just start taking it to the Aggies?
No, I think we just came out a little flat, and it's a little wake-up call, and once we got going, things clicked. So,
all right, right now shots 34-11, scores 7-1. You got one more period to play. How do you guys come out motivated? Is it still going to be all gas, no breaks, or what are you guys going to do for the third period?
Yeah, I think that after that first goal, kind of said that anything can happen in these type of games. So even though we're up 7-1, we got to do the same thing, stick to the system, keep playing the way we can.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, that's it from down here. We'll go back up to Boz in the booth. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Ryan. And as you mentioned, it's been 7 unanswered goals, and so far we'll see if Florida Gulf Coast can close out the game. The last 20 minutes coming up after this break. You're watching the Men's Division II National Championship on the ACHA Network.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Budget Car Rental, the preferred rental agency of the ACHA. Hogan Transportation, official tournament partners of the 2019 ACHA National Championships. Edge Protect, protecting goalie skate blades since 2004 and official sponsor of the 2019 ACHA National Championships.
And we welcome you back to the Children's Health Star Center in Plano, Texas. I had to think about that. I keep thinking we're in Frisco.
We're all over the place.
We're all over the place. We're traveling crew.
ACHA everywhere. We know we got fans everywhere listening at home. Thank you for tuning in with us. But we are in Plano, Texas.
We are in Plano, Texas. Yeah, we are here for the third period. It's currently right now as it stands, it's a blowout. I'm sure Utah State going to look to try to get back into this game. 7-1 the total. Shots on goal. Basically, we'll just leave it at a ratio of 3-1 right now and just leave it there.
Yep.
And it's going to be a win by Kirkfleet as he tries to stick handle his way into the zone. All the way back where ball's going to give chase. As we're in the last 20 minutes. Ryan Jones, I mean, what are some things you're looking for in the last 20 minutes? Obviously, if you're, you did get an interview Florida Gulf Coast before the period ended, and full gas, no brakes was one of the terms that you used as Utah State. And Kirkfleet sends this over the net. There is an errant glove just over by the point.
Yeah, it looks like it was number 42, Keegan O'Brien, who maybe took a little slash there that went uncalled, lost the glove there. As far as Florida Gulf Coast, you know.
Oh, now with speed is Cantwell. Cantwell was shot glove saved by Pritchard, and that's how period number 3 gets started. 47 seconds into this period.
Yeah, I think that play right there would surmise my interview is that they were going to keep coming at Utah State. I know Utah State is a very proudful hockey club. They've built a rich tradition of winning up in Logan. So I think on the other end, you're going to see Utah State open up the period for the Aggies. I think, you know, these guys have a game tomorrow. A conversation here about that possible slash. You could see O'Brien over on the bench, visibly in pain, getting checked out by the trainer. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, I mean, you get slashed like that and it ends up bruising a player right now. You kind of have an argument, and it's kind of hard to, like, yo, my guy's hurt. Why didn't this penalty get called? And I think at this point, of the game, it's really about getting people off the ice healthy.
Right. So I do think the student athletes have everybody healthy and ready to go.
Got it up ahead. As now corralling the puck is going to be McKitchney. Now with speed through the zone is Decker. Decker didn't reach the net. As Florida Gulf Coast will recover as Solera takes it behind his net. And leads the breakout here behind his own net. And that went into the bench through the open door. Well, the face-off will just come outside the Eagle zone with 18-16. Do invite you to stay tuned. 7:30 face-off schedule. It's going to be UMass Amherst and Treen. And if UMass Amherst wins, they are effectively going to eliminate the University of Northern Colorado after the North Carolina State win. As now up ahead and a penalty going against the Utah State Aggies as with speed in the zone was Noyes. And here we go into the corner, and
this is one of those things. Looks like another Utah State player down. Trainer quickly out there. This is what you hate to see when it kind of starts getting out of hand. You know, you got to keep guys safe, and the refs really are going to need to probably keep this game tight before they lose control.
Yeah, it looks like the injured Aggie there was number 20 in Jonathan Ball.
At least able to get to the bench under his own power, thankfully.
They're trying to climb over it too, but we're actually going to have one penalty. It's going to be Laviolette, at least for Florida Gulf Coast. And, you know, usually with these games, referees have their work cut out for them in order just to keep players safe.
Yeah, 18 minutes is a lot of time left. We're going to get a discussion here about maybe how much time that Laviolette's going to stay in the box. 2 minutes on the clock right now. Is there?
I'm sure Utah State arguing to get a 5-minute penalty here. And, you know, that's part of the discussion. That's probably what's going on. Kirkfleet involved with that. And the captains there, of course, Stephen Noyes, one of the assistant captains for Florida Gulf Coast. And I think if you're the ref, one of the things is, hey, keep it clean. Let's not get chippy.
Right. And you're talking to the leaders of the team. That's why you wear those letters, right? Those are the only guys that are really allowed to talk to the refs like that. So when you have those captains picked, right, those are the guys that command the respect of the locker room, and sometimes those guys are the ones that can keep the team in check rather than the coaches and refs a lot better. So I think you got to go to your bench and say, hey guys, let's play within the rules.
Well, right now we're being held up, and I think ball's going to the penalty box right now. So, pardon the pun, but a little bit of insult to injury to Jonathan Ball. But somehow he was involved. There are matching 2-minute penalties up on the board right now as we're trying to sort this one out. Looks like Florida Gulf Coast coach Bob Brinkworth is trying to get an explanation from our orange bands. And we will resume play with 18 minutes left in this game. Of course, Utah State a date with Marion tomorrow. And Florida Gulf Coast will take on New Hampshire, which will decide who advances out of Pool B. Well, you'll play with the puck. Circles back, and a turnover here. It was right for Flanagan. Flanagan walks up and a save by Pritchard as moving to his left and taking a shot from Steven Noyes, making the save.
Yeah, nice save by Pritchard, just being able to move back into position there. Tough outing, but you know what? He's still standing pretty tall in net for Utah State, and you got to respect that after all he's been put through so far throughout the first 42 minutes.
And went back up ahead and going to keep this. No, he didn't keep it in. Was Bryant. Not back giving choices. Roy does rattle this around the boards. Only up and not yet out, but there is Kevin Bryant to make sure the puck gets into the Aggie zone. Bryant's protecting the puck. He puts on the brakes. Circles on the boards. And Bryant again just gets it deep. Going back to play it is Hunter Doyle. Now near side circle. Or Fernandez, who has the lone goal for Utah State, played it up ahead for Decker. Decker gains his own. He gets it deep and pulls off for a change. With speed, Arcapane. Arcapane gains his own. Walks in, and they score.
Nice move there. Just a little dipsy doodle. Goal horn a little late there, but kind of pops right over Pritchard, and 8-1 lead now for Florida Gulf Coast.
Well, coast to coast went Keaton Arcapane, and it makes the lead 8-1. That was not intended.
I was waiting for it. I like it. I like it. A little coast to coast. Multiple Eagles with points tonight, spreading the wealth.
And now skating the puck, Brett Yoakum. Machunas. And getting this one stuck at the point and just sending it back in is going to be Yoakum. Back to play, it is Decker. Excuse me, that wasn't Decker, that was Duquet. And now with the puck into the zone goes Cantwell. Shot that rattles around the end boards in the last four of this 4-on-4 period. A lot of room to skate with as we go into the last 16 minutes of this period 3.
Smart play just to go back to your D-to-D, allow your forwards to change, and then reset through that neutral zone.
Dumped in, but right there playing the dropped puck was Lorenz. And Maxey will play this. Going on the boards was Fogarty, but the Aggies will take it. And then the former Brandon Blauer. Blauer gets packed up. Well, up for Walton. Walton has a man to beat on O'Mara. O'Mara forces him outside. The shot goes up O'Mara's stick and into the netting. And that will halt play with 15:25 in the third period.
I'd like to see Utah State here get a little bit of a momentum by winning that face-off. We saw it in that first 2 minutes when they win it back to Fernandez. Unfortunately, they lose, but just anything for Utah State to build on, especially to look forward to tomorrow here, is going to be key.
On our side here for Maxey. Up, and it does hit the roofing, and look out. Should be a note. We haven't seen David Wong since he left the ice with an injury in the second period. I won't see him the rest of the night.
Yeah, I highly doubt it. I'm sure his night was over once, hopefully it's just a stinger. We'll find out a little bit more about that. But hopefully he's okay, because clearly he's a special player. He's led this, he's co-captained with Eduardo Leon. They both wear the C's. And David Wong been integral to this Florida Gulf Coast team with 62 points in the regular season. So that would be a huge hit, especially going against a really fast, really good New Hampshire team tomorrow for a chance at making the semifinals.
Solera, he missed the net there with his shot from the point. And Decker with speed. And the shot from McKitchney went wide. Solera will play it behind his net. On the near side board for Maxey. Finally gets it out where Lorenz plays it. And Maxey. Shot from Lorenz was stonewalled there. Pritchard made another save. 14:36 left in this final frame. And McKitchney angles this one off the boards. No icing here, as giving chase is going to be Fogarty. Fogarty up and ahead, and it found the shoulder and it was knocked down by Leon. Now Maxey. Maxey walks in, sends it up and off the back of the net, where he tries to play it off the end boards. Sent down low by Leon, all the way around, picked up by Farr. Up and over the blade, Machunas. And the Aggies will take over from their own blue line. Farr up ahead here near side for Panic. This one goes down as the Aggies have iced the puck.
Just over 6 minutes off the clock here. I'll ask you, Boz. I'll turn the tides here on this. And how do you think this Florida Gulf Coast team stacks up against New Hampshire?
I think it's going to be one of the enjoyable games to watch tomorrow. I mean, hockey's hockey, and it's pretty fun to watch regardless of the game that's going on. But I think you get the defending national champions and the three-time champions, and this one's just sent all the way back down in Trace Farr. But I think it'll be a fun game. New Hampshire plays a great brand of hockey. They were kind of throwing it on, but obviously right now I think Florida Gulf Coast, right now the favorite in the tournament. Every team that comes in, they know that the group of death is going to include Florida Gulf Coast, and you kind of, if you're in that bracket, you hope that you beat a team, and then the team that you beat, you hope they beat Florida Gulf Coast as well as you beating Florida Gulf Coast. So, right. I don't want to say that Florida Gulf Coast might become the Alabama of the ACHA Division II, but they're definitely well on their way. And they got a great program that's been built in Florida, southern Florida. And a shot that laid out in the slot. Haskins at the point, he keeps it in. Walks in and hit the stick of a Utah State Aggie in front. Now finally out of the zone is Blauer. Blauer just chips this up ahead. And giving chase there is Cantwell. Blauer and Cantwell as Blauer takes a spill. From the point up and kind of changed up on Rambajan. Been a while since we called Ramajan's name.
I was going to say you're searching for him on the stat sheet because we haven't really had to call his name too much, but a nice kick save there. I know I said it earlier, but it's kind of hard to stay locked in sometimes when you're not seeing the rubber. And, just like a supreme athlete that he is, just always mentally focused, and nice kick save right there.
Our colleague Jay Sewell's always mentioned being a goalie and wanted, you like when your team scores a lot of goals, but you also want to stay busy.
Right.
And looks like we're going to have a high stick or a high touch here. But, I mean, averaging over the 3 periods, Rambajan has only seen about 4 shots a period, most of which came in period number 1.
You know what, Boz? Been very thankful to call a couple of games with you, and I'm very impressed by your academic knowledge of the mathematics. Maybe you should have gone.
Maybe I should have been an engineer instead of being here on the broadcast.
No, we love you here.
All right, back the other way we go. As Flanagan with speed enters the zone and just we'll dump this one in the corner.
Nice high-low play there, but a good save by Pritchard.
And Haskins will go back. He'll play this and gets a forearm shiver applied by Lubin. A shot by Cutshaw that gets blocked and sprawling out, trying to keep it in the zone, maintain possession is Cutshaw. He knifes it, but it goes back to Laviolette. Laviolette gains his own, and he scores! 9-1 as Jack Laviolette gets the goal. And it looks like Pritchard just didn't even see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to see a shot coming in at that speed. Laviolette just kind of picks out his corner, beats Pritchard up high. I will say that play, it starts by Utah State really being aggressive, which you like to see. I think even though it's a blowout right now, you have Lubin, you have Cutshaw that are still playing really hard. Unfortunately, just got stuck in the offensive zone, which led to the Florida Gulf Coast break.
I think one of the things, too, it did look like that Pritchard was screened by his defenseman trying to block that shot, I mean, that's unfortunate, too, because that's what you want to do.
Right.
It's just that if that shot gets through it, there's not a whole lot your goaltender can do. Yeah. And a shot gloved by Rambajan.
Got another good shot from Fernandez from the point. And other than just that first 2 minutes, I mean, Rambajan has looked good, even though he hasn't seen that much shots yet. So the Florida Gulf
we have
Coast
a late change here, and
waved off.
Yeah, the refs they're saying no.
I always love this, as a team. You just kind of try to send out as many guys as you can and just confuse them by numbers.
Well, Fernandez is taking the draw here. I mean, one thing, if you're Utah State, you gotta love the heart that they're playing with and respect it. And Rambajan, Kerkvliet fanned on that shot, kind of rolled on his blade a little bit, and ball from the point. And now Flanagan enters the zone, leaves it for Maxey. Maxey with a shot that's turned away by Pritchard. Another shot that didn't get to the net. And back here goes Kerkvliet. He leaves it for O'Brien. O'Brien was looking for a centering pass that was deflected as Colton Howard got in the way of it.
Yeah. You see right here, I mean, Florida Gulf Coast has been able to break the puck out with these quite a bit, but the fact that these guys are still back-checking, still getting back on defense, just shows you how disciplined of a club you are. It's pretty easy to mail it in at a time like this, and yet you still see everybody doing their job, and that's the mark of a really well-coached team.
Now Lallier, as we enter the halfway point of the third period. Lallier fighting to keep that, but now come the other way is Eduardo Leon. Leon will sky this one, and it ends up at the back of the net. In the corner it goes, picking it up is Hunter Doyle. And finally up ahead, and his back on that puck was Lauer. Near side for Arkelpane. Mullally circles around. Up at that far side hash mark as Florida Gulf Coast gets the cycle going. Near side as Mullally was maybe looked like he was considering a backhand shot. And by the time he decided what to do with it, out in front and being harassed on that shot was Kevin Bryant.
Nice block there by Bryant. So, I mean, that just shows you the heart of the team, right? Is that you're down this much and you still got guys laying out for it.
Finally all the way into the slot, finally out of the zone. But picking it up and going for Kevin Bryant, as Bryant will just dump this one in, and we'll get a fire wagon change with 8:45 left in period 3. Cutshaw up ahead. Cutshaw with speed. It rolled off of his blade, and it's still rolling around. And Cutshaw kind of frustrated. Right in front as McKitchney is shot. Point blank shot. Still laid out in front. Trying to grab it, and finally doing so is Ramajan.
Nice play there. They were looking for Decker on that back door. Got the shot off. Ramajan with a nice stop, and then was able to get out and clear the puck. And we will take our media timeout here. Stick with us on this ACHA divisional round.
And back from the Children's Health Star Center in Plano, Texas. I keep doing that. There's the last 2 days of Division I games.
The
in
greater
Frisco.
Dallas area.
Yeah, the greater. We'll call it Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Fort Worth. We're all in the same area.
Somewhere in Texas, coming to you live.
9-1. The score right now, Florida Gulf Coast ahead. And currently they would end up being 2-0 in Pool B play. They are looking for, if the score stands, it's going to be a winner-take-all game against the University of New Hampshire tomorrow. And we do invite you to stay posted. The last game of the night here in Men's Division II at 7:30 p.m. It's going to be UMass Amherst versus Trine. Face-off one and intercepted by Yoakum. Yoakum chips this one up ahead as Duque will play it. And the Eagles have iced the puck. I'd throw a long stretched out word in there for you.
Yeah. Also, make sure to check out Matt Coma, or ACHA tonight, later tonight at 11:30 Central Time. He'll have all the highlights, certainly a lot of highlights in this game from both the Division I and II games that occurred today.
Ball shoots this into the skates on a couple players. Only near our boards up ahead here and playing it for the Eagles as Pritchard will try to play it. He tried to slow it down and couldn't do it.
Stretch pass.
This will go. Ison waved off as it was deemed that Haskins could have played it. Now down deep. Florida Gulf Coast swarming, and we're going to have a penalty here. And it looks like it's probably going to be against Florida Gulf Coast. And there's a man down. It looks like it's Fernandez.
That's unfortunate. Fernandez has been playing really well today. Leader on this team, and he looks really hard. He looks really hurt. I think he maybe took a slash or a cross check to the neck, and he is really hurt down there. And I mean, what an absolute class of a player for Fernandez being a leader. So a guy that just leaves it all on the ice. Really hoping that he's okay. Helmet off right now. Both teams going back to their benches.
That's Dylan Cantwell, who's guilty of the penalty right now. We still haven't gotten the call on what's going on, but Fernandez finally rolling around, and he's sitting up, which is a good sign. He's going to be helped off the net. I think the ref's talking to him right now. We are going to check our out-of-town scoreboard in Men's Division I so far. The first game of the day, Iowa State University. They beat Stony Brook by a total of 4-0. Minot State avenged their semifinal loss against Illinois. They ended up beating them 5-3. And then currently right now with 9:23 left in the second period, Davenport up big over the University of Central Oklahoma, 6-1. The nightcap over there at 8:30 is going to be Liberty and Arizona.
That's going to be a really good game. Looking forward for that. Arizona is always a tough team to beat. In that, I believe it's the 9-8 matchup.
Yeah, it's
right?
it's the 8-9 matchup.
8-9
so
matchup.
that's probably one of the more eventful games usually, and it's a tough task for those Division I teams because if you play Friday, it means that if you want to win a national championship, you're playing straight through the championship to win one.
Yeah, it's really, really key to get that first round bye if you're the first 4 teams. And, you're really thankful. So when you're in that 5 through 9 spot, it's pretty tough to have to go back-to-back and then face, one of those top teams that have already got that 24-hour rest period.
Yeah, we kind of saw it in Illinois in the championship game. It just looks like they ran out of gas against Adrian College, who we'll see tomorrow night as well. They're actually going to they're awaiting the winner of the Stony Brook game. We have to go back and check that. But 6:50 left in period 3. Just finally gaining the zone was Blauer. He turned it over as soon as he gained it, though, and this one sent all the way down. Back to play. There's Pritchard behind his own net, and he sent a little miscommunication there for Utah State. Up ahead, and Walton has it, and this will go for icing. As of icing, we'll check Division II scores. Currently, earlier in the day, Penn State beating Montana State by a score of 7-2, effectively eliminating Montana State. We did see Northern Colorado lose to North Carolina State 6-5. Those are the first 2 games. Lindenwood beat Keene State 7-4. New Hampshire, we also did see just this past game, they beat Marion 3-4. As the Aggies will break this one out with 52 seconds left. And up ahead here for Kirkfleet. Puts on the brakes, which for support as they needed a change. The Aggies did ice it, and that's why that change needed. Walton circles around, and will just send this up for Decker. Decker back down for Walton, but Haskins was there waiting for it. And now Decker back to the point where Kirkfleet was. And Decker sends us down low for Walton. And over everyone as Pritchard's going to come out to play this with 24 left, and this sent all the way down, and we'll go. No, it won't go for icing. Apparently, it was ruled that O'Mara could have gotten to it. Now, ball from his own blue line. Generating some speed is Blauer. Now for Decker. Decker looking for a shot, missed the near post.
That was a good shot there. Kind of looked like it had eyes on it, but it was just a little bit too high. Bad turnover. Utah State's able to gain control behind the net, but just being harassed by this Florida State defense. Now that puck goes up and chips the light. A little bit of dust coming off that, but thankfully the
shades of Tropicana Field.
Yeah.
We'll continue right now. We did see New Hampshire. We mentioned that they were 3-4 winners over Marion University. Northern Arizona unofficially on the other rink. Right now it looks like they have a score of 2-0, and we'll confirm that. But, of course, the last game over there is going to be Aquinas and Northeastern on that rink. That's a 7 o'clock face-off.
A lot of good hockey being played from both divisions here. Just, this a very high level. This one's going to be called for an ice, but no matter who you want to tune into, you're bound to find a pretty good game, especially tomorrow as things start to heat up. You got a lot of playing games here. You're looking for fighting for 4 spots for the semifinals in the Division II, and you got some of the best playing tomorrow in Division I.
The semifinal game is going to happen over at the Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas. That's why I keep saying Frisco, because we're technically zoned out of Frisco. Just a short drive over to Plano, however. Home to cycling great Lance Armstrong. And this one sent down deep where, this one trying to angle it. Maybe a little Sidney Crosby action there, trying to bank it off of Ramajan. That's Fogarty. Fogarty had it. It was in the skates and trying to soccer it up. Ahead was Lorenz. Finally up and over everyone, and this will bank off those end boards. finally out of the zone at the red line, and the Aggies will just get this one deep as the Panic was offside. He tags up, and the Eagles find the puck. Into the last 4 minutes we go. As Walton down with it. He gains his own. Walton shoots, and glove save. Big rebound, though, by Rambajan, as he had some support there from his Eagles teammates. Finally up and back into the zone, just getting this one deep. Panic will hustle off for a change. Up and out of the zone, and Fogarty was looking for it. He gets rubbed into and canceled out by far. Back the other way goes Blauer. Blauer with a shot into the Eagle crest of Rambajan. And he squeezes it with 3:43 left in period number 3.
Coach Brinkworth got to be pretty proud of the way that his guys played. Be interesting to see how Florida Gulf Coast comes out after a pretty big win here tonight, tomorrow in that New Hampshire game. There's another draw won by Florida Gulf Coast, just high up off the glass, shipping it out, and icing's going to be waved off as Duque was able to get there, shakes off a hit there. And now going back in is Laviolette.
Lallier. We'll go D to D there, is picking it up as Duque. Finally up, and Flanagan. Now for Walton. Walton chips it up ahead. It'll go off the inboards. Walton still applying a forecheck there as Lallier will get this one deep, or tried to at least. Then back the other way, a 3-on-2 ensues. Led up by Flanagan. Flanagan with Laviolette. Flanagan will just carry this one in and kind of just lightly guided it up. Flanagan now with it. Flanagan gains his own. He's still with Laviolette, and Laviolette shoots it, and knocking it up and into the corner was Pritchard. Now for Cutshaw, it went off of his skate. He chips it up, and around we go as Cariglio gets this one out, up ahead for Arcupane. Cariglio, he's kind of hacked a little bit, and then takes a shove, and a point-blank shot save, as a nice pass save by Pritchard, as looks like Colton Howard missed the mark a little bit. Cutshaw now with speed, and he comes in offside as the Eagles regain possession in the last 2 minutes. We go. And Howard will go D to D for Solera. Back in the Eagle zone and guiding this one forward and all the way down. The Eagles have iced the puck with 1:43. Looking at the D1 schedule, at least for tomorrow, we have two of the matchups set. It's going to be Arizona versus Liberty. Should be an exciting matchup there. Of course, Liberty winners yesterday. And then Iowa State and Ohio will be the second matchup. That face-off scheduled for 1:30 over at the Comerica Center.
Yeah, we were able to call that Ohio UNLV game a really physical matchup. Ohio's big, tough, and strong. It'll be interesting to see how those two teams match up.
Of course, Jimmy Thomas, I mean, aside for that one maybe controversial goal, for all intents and purposes, pitched a shutout last night. And now in the far side corner goes Mullally. Left for Leon. Mullally will take it, but he was rubbed off there. The puck left behind, and picking it up are the Aggies, and Greber, this one's sent it all the way down. And going to try to win the race for icing, but having to come out and play that was Rambajan. And a backhand attempt. Rambajan guides away as he was skating back toward his own net.
Just got to keep him honest.
Well, I mean, that's the one thing, too. If you're a goaltender, especially in this lead, no really reason to give up any senseless goals like that. And we know our colleague Jay Sewell likes to see goaltenders just stay inside that blue paint area. 40 seconds left, as this was a cross-ice pass that was errant up and into the scoring area with 31.5.
Interesting game here, at least in the first period it was.
Well, it's kind of a class performance that we saw out of Florida Gulf Coast, something kind of, what we expected in a way.
Yes, it was. I mean, I think Utah State got that momentum out early. And sometimes when you're skating with a team with this much talent, you just burn out after a while. And once those 2 goals at the end of the first happened, you could just feel the energy around the rink change. And, Florida Gulf Coast feeding off of these traveling fans did a great job of just a really a pretty convincing, dominating win.
And it's interesting, too, because Utah State was in control for the most of one period. And aside for the last minute of the first period, they were in complete control as Richardson locked this one up, and that's how this game ends on the shot. And it's going to be a Florida Gulf Coast win. So Florida Gulf Coast, they will go ahead and they're waiting for New Hampshire in the Pool B. We could call it the Pool B championship game. That's just how the schedule worked out, not exactly how we kind of expected it. But for Utah State, just to keep, if you're a Utah State fan, this is one of the things. It's like they keep coming here year after year. There's no reason to hang your head. They just got outperformed by a better Florida Gulf Coast team, but the thing is, Utah State played hard all 60 minutes, and sometimes you play hard, you just meet a team that's has more talent with you, and sometimes you tip your cap, you shake hands after the game, and if you're Utah State to keep coming back year after year to this tournament, it speaks volumes about the program, and that's one of the things that if you're Utah State and you're one of the underclassmen at Utah State, you got to hang your helmet on and you got to enjoy the fact that you play for a great program that is here year in and year out, competing for a West Regional title, a Rocky Mountain title year in, and expects to be here every year. That speaks volumes about the program and how much it means to Utah State and the fans up in Logan. So, it's been a great game. We do invite you to stay tuned for the game against UMass Amherst. And they will take on Trine. And, of course, UMass Amherst can eliminate the University of Northern Colorado with a win. We're gonna hang on, and we're going to send it down to Ryan Jones. We'll have our post-game interview.
All right, I'm here with Coach Winkworth. Coach, first of all, congratulations on a convincing win. Was there anything that you said to get your boys riled up and, to keep the foot on the gas today?
We had a big win last night and kind of a slow start today. It's unacceptable on our part, but boys bounced back towards the end of the first period. And once we got skating, once we popped that first one, we were able to roll a little bit more.
And looking forward for tomorrow up against New Hampshire, what's going to be your game plan to slow down the speed of that team? Those first 2 lines are really, really fast.
Yeah, they got a really good hockey club. We're happy with our lineup, and we got 4 lines that are going to roll, a bunch of good defensemen. So we're happy with our game. We're ready to go against anybody, and it should be a really good game tomorrow. So. Okay, one more thing. We know that David Wong went out with an injury early. Should we expect him to be in tomorrow's lineup? Yeah, I haven't talked to him in the last after the second. I saw him a little bit. He was doing all right. I haven't talked to him, but he should be fine. We'll talk to him a little bit, get him looked at. He'll be all right.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach.
Thanks.
Congratulations. Pause for the final wrap-up, and then stick with us for the next game coming up here at 7:30.
And thank you, Ryan. And Florida Gulf Coast again with that convincing victory. And they do have a winner-take-all matchup for Pool B against the University of New Hampshire tomorrow. Stay tuned for, again, as Ryan said, UMass versus Trine. That's going to be the last matchup in Division II for tonight. And for everyone here at the ACHA, we thank you for joining this broadcast of ACHA Hockey on the ACHA Network. Have a good night.